I've been trying a lot of different notebooks recently. Maybe you've been wondering at how many I have, but here you've got a very little sample of my collection, and the fact is that I use them all. And that's the thing. You've got new ones here, but most of them are used, and quite used actually. And I use a lot of different formats because I think each of them has its own purpose. But I think I'm looking for the one to do writing in it, to do daily journaling, and to write my stories. Then there's one type of notebook which I prefer. So I'm going to go through all the different types and then tell you which one, in my opinion, would be the best notebook. Not giving you a trademark, but an idea, a portrait of that kind of notebook. Okay, so let's start with the small ones. Small ones are really practical to put in your back pocket and write down an idea that you get. My husband has one, my son as well, and so do I, and I found these to be pretty useful because I have the memory of a peacock. And so that's very nice. I tend to prefer either my leather notebooks or the Moleskine reporter notebooks, which makes me look like a policeman in a TV series. So that's what I like. Now for daily journaling or taking notes during a conference or something, I like these ones very much. And that's the that's in between the small ones and the bigger ones. They are practical, you can put them in your handbag, not too heavy, quite good looking with their leather covers. These are one of my favorite notebooks. Now on the left I've got my weekly planner for work, and this one is for doodling. And this one I use for work, this one I use for my own pleasure, but basically I would call these fantasy notebooks. Why? Because they are not neutral enough to me. They say something about you already, they say something about what you like, and they are very nice, very sober, but still. Now when it comes to fantasy notebooks, when I was younger I used to buy these kinds of notebooks. This one is a paper blank, so it's good quality, it's good for writing, but it's too full of, or packed with feelings and stuff. Now, used to have these kind of things, but when they open, they don't stay flat. Now these things, never go for them if you want to do writing. I don't use them. Even for drawing, it's a pity, it's a nightmare. And the paper is good actually. Now this one, which I've just destroyed, is with a fantasy paper, Daphne paper, or something like this, with flowers inside. Okay, very good looking and very unpleasant to write on, whether with a ballpoint and even worse with the fountain pen. Never go for this, you will destroy your fountain pen. Right, okay, now the big ones. That's a Moleskine I use for work. I need them to be sturdy. I need them to last for at least a year. I'm not quite satisfied with this Moleskine because the pocket at the end just got destroyed. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm not very happy with this one. Though I like the fact that it's supple, it stays open quite well, and it's quite sober. This one is a more solid conceptum, and there's something about big ones, sometimes you get those kinds of paper. I hate white paper. I do not like it. I go for cream ivory papers all the time, and that's something you get in the conceptum, right, that kind of paper. So the big sizes are perfect for work, but they are not the kind of things that you can easily transport with you and put in a bag. And that's really, for me, it's just too work. Now I get closer to what I think is the essential notebook. The essential notebook is something that doesn't say much about you, it's something you will be writing on without any kind of distraction. And I haven't yet decided whether my favorite was soft covers or hard covers. I don't know yet. The thing I know is that I do not mind about the paper too much as long as it's creamy. I don't care much about what's on the paper, though I have a preference for dotted paper or lined paper for writing. Obviously for drawing I like my paper to be blank. I started with the soft covers and I think I might be moving on to the hard covers. And I have no idea why, but I think that when you write a story and stuff, I don't know why, but the hardcover seems a bit better. And to me, the ideal notebook would be like this one, an A5 size, a bit smaller than the actual A5. Not that thick, as thick as the Leuchtturm, but more like the Moleskine size. 192 pages, with an elastic band and page markers, with a touch of fantasy and color, and sturdy, solid, sober, and that would be my that would be what I go for. So maybe not the Leuchtturm. I still like the Moleskine ones. I'm going to try a few new notebooks in the future, maybe change my mind about them. I think the Baron Fig I have seen on their website actually would fit that kind of feature. So maybe I'll make a video about this one. And that's it. So that's how I use my notebooks.